I just wonder who around you is weak. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about specifically someone around you who's weak. And then secondly, ask yourself this: what can I say to them or do for them that will affirm them in the Lord this week? That would affirm them in the Lord. I'll never forget, several years ago, I went to visit one of the shut-ins in our church. If you're not familiar with church, you might not be familiar with that term, shut-in. Shut-in refers to someone in the congregation who, because of their physical health, oftentimes because of age, is no longer able to get out and to join us on Sundays, and so we call them shut-ins. And we have here at the church a list of the shut-ins of our church. And I'll never forget, several years ago, going to visit one of the shut-ins in our church, and while I was there beside her bed, I noticed some pictures that she had taped along the wall right beside her. And as I looked at those pictures, I recognized the family in the pictures. It was one of the young families in our church. And I just said to her, I said, I didn't know that you were related to them. And I found out she wasn't related to them. But she said, recently you gave a sermon, and at the end of that message, you kind of like this, challenged people to think about those in need around them. And I think I'd even suggested something about shut-ins. And that young family, that very week, they called the church, they got a list of shut-ins, they picked one of them, which was her, and one Sunday a month, after the morning service, they would go out to eat, and they would go and visit her. And they had done this for about 2 years. Stop and think about that. It was so significant to her that right there beside her, right by her bed, where she was spending almost all of her life, pictures of this family who had kind of adopted her and who at least once a month come to see her, and the kids would write notes to her and tell her about what's going on at school and that sort of thing. Isn't that exactly what we're talking about this morning? Thinking about those around you, maybe someone who's in a special time of weakness, and what we can say or do to affirm them in the Lord. Mercy given is mercy received. I can't help but think that whole household was blessed because of the blessing they were giving to someone in need.